So just over halfway through this 10k training block, and training is going great, but we've hit another setback. What is up guys, Andy Forrest Team Runner here. Welcome back to another video, and today is week 7 of this 10k challenge. So welcome back to another episode in this 10k training series, and this was going to be a really exciting one because this was going to be the week where I was shooting for a flat and fast 10k. I'd entered a race and last week was put behind me, and I'll explain all about that more later in the video after the feature workout, but sadly things just haven't worked out that way. Another setback has hit me and we're going to talk about that shortly, but thankfully the setback didn't happen before we hit the feature workout, which I'm excited to show you now. So here we go, back with another feature workout of the week. Hopefully the light is not too much, it's blinding me a bit, but hopefully it's okay for you. I know the car light is absolutely no good. So I'm back here in Lydney just like I was last week for an evening workout. Normally I do it in the morning, but for whatever reason I didn't get up in time this morning to get my run done, so I am now doing it this evening. Feature workout of the week, as always, is going to be explained by Will.
Right then, Mr. Rayner, one of my favourite times of the week, talking through your pain and misery. So Monday we're going to have 2 big sets. Those 2 big sets are going to consist of a 2k effort, 90-second rest, and a 4x400 meters of 60 seconds. 90 seconds rest between sets. We'll go through that twice. 2ks, we're going to want that about a 10k effort, and those 4x400 meters we're looking at a bit quicker. 3k effort, not really top end because we've only got a 60-second recovery, and then we've got to go into another 2k effort, so they're not going to be really fast but keeping them nice and aerobic. 4x200 after that, or 45 seconds, kind of that stride effort. Again, only of 45 seconds, so they don't need to be absolutely booted. It's quite a meaty session that. We're in week 7, get your teeth stuck in. And then on the Wednesday is our time-based one. So we're going to start off with a 5-minute effort at kind of 5k pace, 90 seconds rest, 4x60 seconds of 75-second rest, 4x2 minutes. Those 2 minutes are going to be off 90, and we're going to be looking more towards that kind of 3k effort, 4x60 seconds again off 75, 3-minute rest, and then we're going to try and smash out 5 minutes of 5k effort. It sounds like we've got a lot of rest to hit that. You do, but I'm telling you what, it's going to be a tough one to actually grind out that last 5 minutes. You're going to take it slightly easier because at the back end, this weekend, we've got that 10k coming up, and it's going to be really good to see where you're at, to see if those hard-earned gains are paying off, and it'll be able to give us a bit of more of an idea of where we're heading towards when we eventually hit that 8-miler final session. Have a good one, lad. Let me know how it goes.
So yeah, this one's going to be a good one. None of this is 10k pace. All of it is going to be faster, just slightly faster, or very much faster. And we're just going to see how it goes because it is -4 right now. I thought last week was cold. It's even colder this week, and I've got to get this jumper off. So I'm double layered up, gloves, hat, everything, you name it. I'm going to go out there. Got an old pair of Next Percent 2s on, so we'll see how we get on. The same route as last time, up and down the docks road. Got the head torch. Camera filming will be minimal, you know, GoPros, cold weather. I said it last week, I'll say it again, it's going to be a nightmare. So quick bits of recording, hopefully I can get those splits up on screen, and then once we've got this done, we're going to talk all about race week during a block and see what I'm doing differently to a normal. Right, so I'm just over halfway through. Done the 5 minute, done the 1 minute, done the 2 minutes, back onto the 1 minute, and just a 5 to go. Going okay so far. Here we go, last 5 minutes. Let's do this. Oh, workout complete. Pretty happy with that. That was really good, really tough. Tougher than last week, but probably the second best workout I've done in this block. So quick cool down done and we'll go back to the car. So there we go, back at the car. Delighted with that, to be honest with you. That was probably the second best workout I've had on the block. Last week's was pretty darn epic. Tonight I couldn't, excuse me, quite hit the paces that I hit last week, but I was very, very close to floats. Again, like last week, they weren't quite there, but they were still very, very close. So overall, I've got to say, there is a third virus going through our family right now. It's wiped out 2 of the kids. Today I woke up and felt a bit groggy. I missed the first run, as I mentioned earlier. I felt a little bit lethargic today, so I really didn't know how tonight would go. So that shocked me at how good that's gone. So I'm really, really happy. All I can hope for with it being race week is it doesn't get any worse. I'm happy to feel lethargic in that. I can clearly run through being lethargic. It's just if I start to get the sore throat and the cough and the sick and everything else that I've had, that we've had in the house this week. So fingers crossed that won't happen. But overall, as for the feature workout, flipping Nora, I'll take that all day long. I'm off into B&M now to get myself a big tube of Smarties. There's some quick thoughts on that workout very quickly now the dust has settled on it. Really, really happy with it. Paces are really coming down nicely and training is paying off massively. I'm feeling fitter than ever and I'm feeling really grateful for Will for giving up his time so that we can work together and I can get on this PB chase because I feel like it's right there, and sadly I can't chase it this weekend. I'll explain more about that very shortly. But overall, as far as the workout goes, in these cold and freezing conditions that we've been having, I've got to say I was really, really happy with that overall. So what's been happening and what's been the setback this week? Well, last weekend, as you were probably aware, I was meant to be racing at the second fixture of the Gloucestershire Cross Country. Sadly, that didn't happen. It's been a week of illness in our house once again. So if you remember, back in week 4, I talked about an illness that I had, and that was the second of now this third block of illnesses that I've had in the space of 7 weeks. The family here has just been ravaged by viruses. The kids keep bringing stuff home from school. They go down first and then they get me and my wife. My wife has escaped this one so far, but me, I went down like a sack of spuds last night. But last weekend it was a case of the race came around and then 1 of 3 children went down with it and were really, really poorly on that Saturday. And it was a bit carnage. I could feel like the second child was starting to go down with it. And it just felt like it was chaos. I felt like if I went out that day, it was just going to be a nightmare. It wasn't worth the hassle, family first and all that. So I stayed at home and we just made sure that everything was okay. We tag teamed and what have you. So we got partially through the week. The second child did indeed go down with it sort of 2 days later. It's not strep which has been going around, but it's some really nasty virus. Starts off with stomach and other bits and pieces, and then moves on to that classic tight chest cold sort of thing that's been going around. Then later this week, the third child finally went down with it, and on that day, which was a Thursday, no, sorry, it was a Friday. It's the same day that I went down with it as well. Now, I went down with the stomach and basically the sickness, and the other end, that was me done on Thursday night through into Friday. Thankfully, I seem to have made a solid recovery, recording this on a Saturday, feeling really good now. So it seemed to be, for me, fingers crossed anyway, just a 24-hour bug. But that does mean that I completely feel drained of anything and certainly don't feel up to going and challenging any form of 10k PB this weekend, which is really frustrating. Sadly, my third child had the first part of what I had, but she's now moved on to tight chest, sore throat, coughing. It's just been an absolute nightmare. I know a lot of you guys have been saying it's the same for you and your families, kids bringing stuff home from school. It just seems to be a winter of illnesses over and over again. So in terms of, for me, it's just frustrating it's happened at the end of this week, because this was the only flat and fast 10k that I was going to have a chance to run in this 12-week training block. to really see if I could get that 10k PB down. I was then going to do a time trial if I couldn't do it, or I've got the Lisbury 8, which is the goal race at the end of this block, which is the 8-mile race. So a little bit of a frustrating one, but overall I've got to say I'm grateful that, touch wood, mine seems to have only lasted for 24 to 48 hours. So that wraps up a slightly shorter week than anticipated. What I plan to do is just take the couple of days off. I might try and get out for 45 minutes tomorrow, or when you see this, which is Sunday, just to not have 3 days off, because I'm going to be having 3 days off over Christmas. But overall I got my work done on the Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and that was it. That's going to be it for this week. Quite a small week, just got to roll with it. These things happen, don't get too despondent. It's deep into winter, freezing temperatures, illnesses flying everywhere. Bank what we can bank and we move on. Do not be too down about it. Yes, it's a frustrating setback for me. Yes, I wanted to go out there. Yes, I feel like I'm in really good shape, but the dice didn't roll my way this time. We go again, we try another time. I'm healthy now and we keep training and we see if we can get something over the next few weeks. So if you want to keep all up to date with my training, it's all on the website. Link is in the description below. You can go and check that out, along with a few of the great brands that I'm working with and some discount codes there. All of my training is documented on my website. Go check it out and you can follow along with the journey. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then.